Hello, welcome to Sound Off with System 1. I'm your host, Brooke Serban. I'm here today with our panel of experts to discuss 2025 hiring and business trends, regional workforce solutions. But before we get started, here are a few words about System 1. System 1 is a leading provider of specialized, highly technical, outsourced services and workforce solutions to critical infrastructure, technology, life sciences, and government sectors, putting more than 650 employees and 9,000 contractors to work in the United States, Canada, and the UK. As you're tuning in today, please join us in the comments. Our marketing team will be monitoring them. Let us know where you're joining from and what industry you work in, and if you have any questions relevant to today's topic. Before we get started, I'd like to have our panel of experts introduce themselves. But to view any System 1 jobs, you can scan the QR code on the screen or head to jobs.system1.com. All right, James, can you start us off with intros?
Sure, Brooke, thank you. My name is James Kelly. I'm the Vice President of our Tulsa office here in the Midwest. We focus primarily on engineering, IT, and accounting and finance recruitment.
Hi, everyone. I'm Wendy Tordilio. I'm the Vice President of our Commercial and Engineering group here, and I cover the Northeast region. And I'll turn it over to Clay.
Thanks, Wendy. So my name is Clay Landrum. I'm based in Houston, Texas, and oversee our southern region. We predominantly focus on engineering, finance, and accounting, and technology.
Great. Thank you guys for joining today. And to those joining us in the audience, please feel free to drop your questions in the comments, and our panel will answer as many as they can. All right, so we will get started. Our first question is, how is the business environment looking in your region? And Clay, let's start with you.
Yeah, so the business environment for the southern region is pretty strong. I think we all wonder what it's going to look like after an election year and going into a new presidency. But overall, our clients are telling us very positive things that they're excited about for 2025. Oil and gas looks to be a pretty good area of growth. Manufacturing positions are something there's a lot of in our area right now. So overall, we're really optimistic about what we're hearing and think it's going to be a good next few years to start exploring opportunities with new clients.
I agree with you on that, Clay. We are definitely seeing an increase in our positions that have come available since the elections as well. So it's very promising here in the Northeast as we've started seeing some positions already coming in for closing out Q4. With that being said, though, clients are, cautious about spending. They're often asking, us here at System 1 for cost-effective staffing solutions to maximize their return on investment without compromising the quality of the talent that they're receiving. So I'm definitely excited and looking forward to 2025 because I really think we're going to have a strong year in the staffing with manufacturing and our pharmaceutical.
I would agree with both Clay and Wendy. On Midwest, we're seeing a lot of the same things. In addition to the exploration production side, midstream seems to be a big one, as well as manufacturing, like you said, Clay. And I think, Wendy, to your point, I think a lot of the companies are ramping up for a good year. I think they're still somewhat cautious about maybe their long-term spend. So starting people out on a project basis is what we're seeing a little bit more of a trend of. And that's a great way to get your foot in the door with a new company.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Overall positive outlook. Love. Sounds like good news for job seekers heading into the new year. Love to hear it. So how about conversations with your clients? What are you hearing regarding their talent needs? And Wendy, let's start with you.
Sure. So recently we've been hearing, clients are frequently expressing a need for their specialized talent in all areas like engineering, skilled trades, manufacturing. But they often are struggling to find candidates with their precise technical or niche expertise that are required for their positions. And there is a big urgency that they have to fill these critical roles, but especially in the industries that are experiencing rapid growth or high turnover, that's where we're seeing a lot more positions, becoming available and what we're hearing from our clients. But I have to say, clients from our meeting I just had yesterday, they're really working hard and looking forward to 2025 to work with their staffing partners, who can deliver the quality candidates quickly. So if you're in the job search right now, reach out to your System 1 recruiter and let them assist you along your way of, looking for your next position.
Yeah, I mean, tying into that, we're the end of the year is always tricky with talking to clients, getting through the holidays, and then jumping into 2025 really quickly. But the thing that we're hearing the most about their talent needs is they're still looking to hire talent in all different levels of experience, from entry level to senior level roles, and really excited about just finding talent that can help upgrade their team in general. So the passive job market is still very active right now. The clients are wanting to know who's out there, who's looking to make a move, and really how they can just help better their company and better their teams as a whole. I would say that the overall optimism is really high on going into 2025, and that they're really talking about jumping in pretty quickly. So that's exciting for us and anyone looking for opportunities right now.
I agree with both of you. I would add something, but I think I'd be just repeating. We're excited to see everybody's outlook for sure. It's going to be a good year.
Yeah, I agree. And, something that like Clay mentioned, and James, you mentioned it in our last question, is that clients that I'm seeing are really looking to go the temp to hire route, like starting as contractor and then moving into perm, because they really want to see during first quarter where their business is taking them. So I highly encourage the candidates, and job seekers that are watching and listening in today is, don't shoot yourself in the foot and don't take a contract position, right? If you're really just looking for a direct hire role, really expand your scope, because that's why we're here and we can get that foot in the door that, was mentioned before. And you actually have the opportunity to go see what the client's, needs are and where that company can take you in the long run.
I agree with that. And not only that, but if you do have a gap or you just finished a project or you're in transition, sometimes having a 3-month contract on your resume is a resume builder, and I think would help open some doors down the road as well.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Job seekers, take notes. All right. How about on the opposite side? In conversations with job seekers, what do you hear about the employment environment? And James, let's start with you.
Excellent. There's still a lot of good people that are looking for work. I think there's a lot of people that could be currently working that are out there looking, maybe more in a confidential spot where they're passive in their job search. But we're still seeing a lot of activity on that front. I saw a question come in earlier regarding an individual that had submitted their resume to a bunch of jobs and then just kind of get ghosted or get the rejection letter. One of the things that System 1 recruiters can do is we've built relationships with these hiring managers. And so when we're presenting candidates or having those discussions with our hiring manager, we're really able to tell a story more than just what you see on a resume. So that's another benefit to, like Wendy said, joining, getting with a System 1 recruiter, going through, what's important to you about your job search so that we can then help match that with our client needs.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Wendy, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Clay. Go ahead.
We're hearing a lot of the same stuff as James, and I'm sure Wendy do as well. So the big thing that we're hearing from the job seekers currently are they're just wanting to know what gives them a better advantage versus another candidate out there. So talking through that and helping build the resume, helping make sure that we're educating the best we can on what the market's like. Because if you're not in the recruiting space, you probably aren't a pro job hunter, and so it's a scary thing to go out and find a new opportunity, find a new job. So they're asking a lot of questions about how long are roles taking to fill. They're pretty slow towards the end of the year. Everyone starts to pump the brakes a little bit and get ready for 2025. The positive things that we're hearing from job seekers are they're seeing a lot of new ads out there, a lot of new jobs posted. A lot of companies are starting to rehire that had slowed down a little bit towards the middle of 2024. So I would say as much as there's some optimism on the client side, it also seems like the talent pool is optimistic about what they're seeing in the job search as well.
Mm-hmm. I agree to that. And, here in the Northeast, we're still seeing from our candidates that we're speaking to, they're still looking for that better work-life balance, to be able to prioritize their roles that offer like flexible schedules, remote, hybrid work. But then they're, you lean more towards manufacturing, the pharmaceutical manufacturing, and we see a lot more in-office work, right? Engineering, production work, it is all in office. So we are seeing a little bit of a switch up here in the Northeast to get people back into the office. And I know that's, speaking to candidates, they really want that hybrid, flexible work schedule. But definitely here in the Northeast, we are seeing a lot more in-office roles come through.
That's true in the Midwest. I mean, I think that the companies are wanting people back in the office, but definitely still looking at a hybrid type model. And I agree with you, Wendy, when you've got a manufacturing facility that might have a 24/7, it's going to tend to get a lot more people in the office.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, some of the other things, I was speaking to, a candidate yesterday, and one of their frustrations, which I'm hoping is going to change once the holidays pass, is the frustration in the lengthy hiring process, right? Where we've, talked to a client and they really were moving on like to the 5th interview, and the candidate pulled themselves. And, I was very honest with our client and gave the feedback. I'm like, you're taking valuable time from this person. So the longer you keep adding on interviews, the more that candidate is like, what more do I need to prove, right? That I'm a good fit for this position. So, just educating our clients that we need to move a little quicker, because I know that is a pretty big frustration with candidates, is the lengthy hiring process. So I know here with System One, we take that like to heart, and we work with our clients to try to shorten that process up. And then we're also seeing, I spoke to someone yesterday, and they're really looking for a career growth and development in roles, where before people really weren't looking for that trend. They just wanted to get their foot in and start working. But now they're really looking at companies to see, I want to make this my home. Where, what kind of growth and development opportunities are there within those companies as well?
Great. And on that note, we have a question kind of going on that topic. If you guys could expand, could you please share the expected timeline for the recruitment process for a position? I'd appreciate understanding the next steps and when I might hear back. Thank you for that question.
Go ahead, James.
I'll do a short, brief one, and you can go. I'll say the economist's answer. It depends. It really does depend on the client. It depends on the industry. It depends on the level of position. I know that's not something you want to hear, but one of the benefits of working with a recruiter, to Wendy's point, is we're talking with them up front about what the hiring process is, so that when we do submit a candidate to a job, we're able to set that expectation with both the candidate and the client. And one of the most important things is just keeping an open dialogue and communication with your recruiter, so that they can update you as they know more with the client. Unfortunately, sometimes our hands are tied, but we try to do the best we can to speed that process up and at least give you, a good expectation.
I'm going to jump in there real quick, Clay, if you don't mind. Just to follow up on James, there is that one of the best questions you can ask at the end of your interview with a hiring manager is, when do I expect to hear back? When are you looking to make that decision? Don't be afraid to ask that question, because it really shows them that your time is valuable. And that
you're interested.
You will definitely get an answer that you want to hear. You might not want to hear, if they're like, well, we're not literally looking to bring someone on board for the next month, then you might know, I need to keep, continue looking. But it's a great question. And don't forget to send a thank you note.
Yeah, I've got really nothing to add. Manage expectations is what I was going to say. I wish there was a blueprint for how it worked the exact same time every time, but every client is different. Every process is different. So as long as we're maintaining the expectations and managing those on both sides, it's really the best that we can do from there.
Great. All right. We got a question about AI. Can you guys talk about how businesses are preparing for advancements in technological advancements or AI or automation, all that good stuff?
I'll start that, because I don't think it's anything new, right? We've been using automation and AI for quite some time now, in human resources, especially in the recruiting industry. I can, talk about 15 years ago working for a pharmaceutical company, and they already had AI automation that they would program when a candidate was looking for a position, they'd submit their resume, they plug in the important pieces, and if your resume didn't say that, it would spit you out as not a qualified candidate. So, automation and AI has been around a long time. So please don't get wrapped up in if AI and automation is going to really change the hiring process, because I don't think it's going to change. It's going to help streamline the process to get you quickly in front of the right hiring manager a lot quicker when you're able to answer the questions that AI or, the automated systems are asking you upfront.
Yeah. As long as we're using it as an additional resource and not replacing the process, it's going to be something that's really advantageous to a lot of different people.
Mm-hmm. Right here at System One, like James talked about it earlier, and Clay, it's our relationship with our clients, right? So AI can't take that away. Definitely from, staffing companies. We need to still have that relationship building. And that's what sets us apart from a candidate just applying to a company on its own. We already have that relationship built to help you throughout your hiring process.
And we have some clients here in the Midwest that are, they're still kind of learning about what different AI tools are going to be beneficial for their business. So I think it's, especially in the technology departments, they're definitely looking into all of it. I know security around it is a big thing. So that sector of business is going to continue. Data analysts, cybersecurity, those will be big going into 2025 as well.
Love it. It's all about balance and all new opportunities. The questions are rolling in now. So let's see. We've got, what industries do we expect to see heavy hiring come the new year, specifically in the Midwest for James?
Thank you, Drew. In the Midwest, we're going to see continued manufacturing. We have a lot of manufacturing that's tied to oil and gas, so that's going to continue. Also, the midstream part of the business, part of the energy sector, is going to be definitely continuing to grow. I think you'll see some more acquisitions through that, and that'll create some more jobs in the future. The other couple of industries that we've seen some heavy growth on the accounting and finance side and the IT side specifically is healthcare, and then financial institutions.
I know, Drew, you really weren't looking for, the Northeast, but I will chime in on anybody listening from the Northeast is definitely the manufacturing pharmaceutical. As I'm based here in New Jersey, we have a very big footprint of pharmaceutical manufacturing companies. So we are definitely starting to see some uptick coming from that already.
Just to add to the South, there are a lot of opportunities going on, specifically around plants and facilities being built for anything from in semiconductor facilities right now. There's about $20 billion worth of plants going up that we're doing projects on. Heavy civil and road construction, just with the expanding infrastructure around, is a huge area of business right now. And oil and gas down here in our specific region is something that's going to continue to grow. So those are three areas that we're going to see a significant amount of growth in.
All righty, just taking a look at these. All right, let's see. All right, thank you guys so much. Unfortunately, we are out of time for today. Thank you to our panel, and thank you for everyone that commented. If we didn't get to your question live, we will do our best to answer them in the comments. Don't forget to follow System One on LinkedIn and subscribe to our YouTube for all past Sound Off episodes. And make sure to tune in every first and third Friday of the month, as we will have new episodes. As our next one is Friday, December 20th, and we will be discussing optimizing your resume for recruiting software. See you there.